We're live. Welcome back to the Supplement Engineer channel. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you had a happy, Merry Christmas, happy holiday season, all that good stuff. My name is Robert Chinesky, the Supplement Engineer, joined always by my partner in crime, my lovely, dashing, mesmerizing wife, Sandy.
Do what I can.
You do.
I do what I can.
Thank you guys for joining us here today. Post up any comments, questions, queries, quips, smart aleck remarks, or fun things that you did over the holidays. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And we will be with you for the next hour or so. Post up anything you got. We will answer anything and everything. And if it seems like we're ignoring your question, I promise you we won't. We are too sometimes, depending on who's asking the question, especially if it's Devin. But if there are any comments and you see it's not populating on the side, just keep entering it in there. Sometimes YouTube has a conniption fit and doesn't post up the questions properly. So thank you all for joining us. Happy New Year again. And we are off to the races. You're back in school this week. So
I am. And let me tell you something. I've learned that I hate this question.
Oh, no.
How were your holidays? How were your holidays? I'm like, let me tell you something about me. I like work. I like working. I like having something to do. I like having a schedule. How were my holidays? I survived them and I was waiting to come back. I'm happy now. You want to know how my last class went? I'll tell you about that. I want to talk about the holidays. I watched movies. We ate. I didn't want.
Entertain
what do you
3-year-old
want
for
from
24
me?
hours a day?
Yeah, and you know what? I wasn't like, oh, did you have fun with your 3-year-old? I was like, no, we don't sign up for 10 days straight of 3-year-old. We sign her up for daycare. And then daycare says, I'm gonna take a break from Christmas Eve through like Monday the 4th, which is like ever, by the way. It's like 10 days. And listen, you couldn't come back on the 28th, 29th, you couldn't come to work then. I mean, don't you like your job too? Am I the only one? I hate it when people ask me about the holidays. Or like, what did you do for your birthday? Like, I don't want to talk about it. How about that? Like, I don't even care what it was. It's not a big deal. I don't know. I guess I don't know. What do you want from me I don't like casual.
It's actually statistically proven that the holidays are more deadly than coronavirus.
Oh, I just don't.
Happy New Year, Devin. Thanks for tuning in, man.
Thanks.
Hopefully you had a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I am still cutting.
Yeah, you are 2 weeks into it officially.
Oh, and I'm angry because I haven't seen results in the thighs yet. My thighs and my butt are still the same size. And Robert's like, it takes time. It takes time.
How about your stomach's tightened up?
Yeah, okay, well, let's just talk about that for a second. It's all a lie. It's all a lie that my stomach tightened up. Because after the first week, I was like, hey, I always do this. I lose it in the stomach. Then we'll lose it in the muffin. You know what I'm talking about. Then I get to lose it in the butt and the thighs. And that's what I'm waiting on. I have some super cute pants that are too tight right now. Too tight for high school boys to look at. It's awkward. So I have to thin the thigh. It's the last place I lose fat. It's fine. So I'm all, after week 1, angry all the time because I'm hungry all the time. I'm not used to it. I'm not used to being hungry. I'm glad we didn't go on after 1 week of my cutting because it didn't go so well. So I was still cutting though. And then all of a sudden, but I looked good. And then after like a week and a half, like this past couple of days.
Saturday.
Once you start cutting, when you first start, you overdo it. And what I mean by that is you take out anything remotely, like no Oreos, no brownies, no nothing. Like I just want clean food.
Meanwhile, I've been trying to get her to go moderate. She tends to go extreme.
I did, which is another reason I was miserable. But then after a while, you're like, I totally have room in my calories for nachos. Like I just have to drink a protein shake, eat a chicken breast, and then I can have my nachos. So I did that. I had nachos, which are really salty. I wake up the next morning, I'm like, what is this?
And carby.
What? I thought I had a toned belly, and now it's like there's jiggle. What the hell is this? What is the point of cutting if you don't even see your And Robert's like, you retain a lot of salt and water and carb. It'll do that to you. I'm like, well, what the flip? I just stay with it, Sandy. So I'm gonna stay with it, but I'm just saying it's like a mental like, and I keep measuring my thigh, and it's still the same number of inches. I'm like, okay, it'll probably take more than 2 weeks. It's fine.
Took you longer than 2 weeks to grow those thighs. It's gonna take longer than 2 weeks to lose those thighs.
It's fine, but and it's funny because I'm not gonna lie about the fact. First of all, I can't lie. I've decided that whatever gene y'all people be born with the whole lying, fake, polite, whatever you want to call it. I don't have it. I am literally incapable of lying. No, I'm incapable of lying. If it's in my heart, it's going to come out of the brain into the mouth. Like it's just going to be like, what about? Do you like my haircut? Do you like your haircut? That's all that matters. that means I don't like your haircut. But I honestly, genuinely think it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what you think. If I do like your haircut, I'll say yes. Those are the two choices. You know the answer when I say, do you like it? That's awesome. That's what I say. It's awesome that you like it. Point of the story is, thanks guys. My high school girls are like, oh my God, Miss Janetsky, you're dieting? I was like, no, I'm not dieting. I'm cutting. There's a difference. I'm cutting to get my thighs able to fit into the pants I want. And then I'll go back to maintenance and then everything will be fine. And it's fine. I'm not dieting. I'm cutting. And I don't like,
well, then you get into the diet mentality and feeding into the fad diets, the detox foods and all that New Year's resolution.
I don't like to blend in with the crowd. If everyone's going that way, the other way looks like a good path to me. And so when everyone diets in the new year, I'm like, I started before Christmas. So I'm like different than y'all. Why do I get so snobby? I don't know.
Happy New Year, Scott.
Happy New Year.
Sandy be turning boys into men wearing those pants.
I don't want to wear the tight pants.
Yes, she will.
I don't want to wear the tight pants. I need them to be just normal pants.
You would be, well, yeah.
Normal.
You don't like the idea of high school boys finding you attractive.
I don't, and you know what? I think that they don't find me attractive. I've never had a boy have a crush on me because I think that once I start talking, I'm not attractive anymore or something. I don't really know, and I'm okay with that. See, no, it's not. I'm just getting my legs to fit. Yeah. I'm just getting my legs to fit into my pants. Because I don't want to make my high school girls think, oh my God, if Miss Janetsky's dieting, then I have to diet. I'm like, no. I know what healthy is. Sorry. I know what healthy is. No, I mean, I know what I'm doing and I'm staying within my healthy whatever, but I'm just saying, I want my pants to I'm a size 2. The problem is, I'm a size 2 with bigger thighs than the size 2 normal thighs. And then it's like, no one needs to see my, what's that called? Camel toe? Nobody needs to see that.
We don't need to go there.
We don't need to go there.
Polygraph machines are a hoax. I passed mine. Did you say something about a polygraph?
Yeah, I'm talking about how I physically can't lie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I physically can't lie, and I think other people can. And I think that's a great
they've done that in movies
skill.
Before where they teach them how to.
You have to believe your lie.
Well, yeah, or stick
you
a little
task
in your.
And then you're heightened always.
Right.
Yeah, that's another one. I like the one where you believe the lie.
You had a kid to give away. You had a kid
to
give
go.
Away.
Yes, to become an adult. Yes, I chose to have a child to raise it to fly. Why do mama birds have baby birds? So the baby bird flies. Yes, I'm creating a future adult. She's only going to be my child for 18 years. She's going to be a future adult. I'm creating a future adult who likes to go to daycare and likes to play with her friends and likes to learn at school. And then she comes home and plays with us. I got a thing here. And I hang out with her all day Saturday and all day Sunday. That's family time. And then she goes to school and that's school time. Sometimes I have a migraine and Robert plays with Sophia while I'm talking about migraine. We'll talk about that later. I had a crazy night last night. I don't want to talk about it. But I could talk about it. It's crazy.
Would you like to? I mean, you're on a roll.
I don't know what is off with me. I think I'm just so excited to be back in school. All the other teachers, it was really funny. I am.
Yes.
No, I was laughing because I went back to school and I teach at a classical Christian school, which is a very, all the teachers are very intelligent and very, almost like college professors. They're introverted. They're very well read. And so we're sitting in the lunchroom and all of them are like, ooh, that first day back, I'm tired. I have not, during the break, I wasn't talking. I wasn't around a lot of people. This was hard for me. For introverts, it takes a lot of energy, and it does. Introverts, when around people, it sucks the energy out of them.
That's why I'm always tired around you.
I am an extrovert. So I'm sitting there at lunch and all the other teachers are like, yeah, I'm really tired. I was like, I am so hyper right now. I'm the most hyper I've been in a couple of weeks. I had the best time teaching. I missed it so. And they were like, yeah, we know. I was like, I know. I just wanted to let you know I'm not like y'all. So it's awkward.
Maybe you can convince Regents to go to the year-round school system where you only get
I would love year-round school
every now and then.
I like the summer to plan for the next year. That's what I do every day is I plan for the next year. I love working.
Sandy reminds me of Tina. I love the Halloween 4
Do we love Tina
reference.
4?
No,
Do we love Halloween 4?
Yes.
Do we love Tina?
I don't think I've ever heard anybody mention something outside of the original Halloween or Halloween 2 or the new Halloween. Is that the one with the clown little girl? Yeah.
Who's Tina?
Tina is...
You don't know. See that?
Rachel was the babysitter. I think Tina was the friend of Rachel.
And did Tina like to work?
I mean, Tina, if it's the character I'm remembering,
Did Tina not have the ability to lie?
Tina doesn't make it.
Tina doesn't make it. I wouldn't make it in a horror film. I already figured that one out, by the way. I already figured that one out. I'd be like,
yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Hey.
Bonus points for referencing Halloween 4. I love all the Halloween movies.
If we gave points,
except Halloween 3, which has nothing to do with Michael Myers, or any of the Rob Zombie Halloweens, and Halloween Resurrection just doesn't even count. We'll leave it at that.
So there's a lot of Halloweens that don't count.
Yes. Tips for beating the polygraph. You have to mess with the control. Yep. See?
Oh.
Thank you, man.
Did I say? I do what I can.
Did you say?
You know what? Yeah. So it's important. You got to wear the loose-fitting shirts. But I tuck in my shirts every time I work. So it really is important that I take care of myself, y'all. And listen, I'm not like doing anything bad. I'm just cutting. But like I said, I'm telling high scholl girls I'm cutting. I'm not trying to give you a body image issue.
So why are you even telling them you're cutting to begin with?
Because I can't lie. I'm eating heads of lettuce, and they're like, "Why are you eating heads of lettuce?" I'm cutting.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but when I could never be with like the CIA, because when asked a direct question, I give the most honest, direct answer. I don't know how to navigate the truth. I just say it.
Which is why I don't tell you I'm having an affair. That way you don't have to worry about anything.
I already told you to not tell me if you have an affair. This isn't important. If you care about our relationship, don't you dare tell me, because I'm going to divorce you. So don't tell me.
Well, you said if I ever murdered anybody, don't tell you either, because
I'm going to rat you out. If you murder someone, I will call the police, but I'll pretend like I'm calling a friend to like help you hide the body. But I'm gonna be like, my husband just killed someone. He should be here right now because he just told me and he's guilty. And I'm like, I'm sorry. If you didn't want to get caught, don't kill the person. If it was self-defense, then the cops will understand. Like whatever it is, I'm calling the cops because I'm a tattletale. Don't do it if you don't. I'm sorry. Everybody's like, you're a snitch. I'm like, I feel like the world could use more snitches. I'm not going to get into like the heinous crimes that people have witnessed and just allowed to go on. I'm just saying, if you do something wrong, I'm going to call you out on it. And if you don't want me to, don't. You should be proud of your actions. You should do things you're proud. I'm sorry. I'm like talking to high schoolers. You should be proud of your actions. If you're not proud of it, stop doing it. We're supposed to help each other, hold each other accountable. I'm doing it because of love is the thing. You wouldn't be happy if you got away with murder. People they're not happy.
I mean, I'm a pretty happy guy.
No, they sleep better in jail. This is the thing.
Sure.
The guilty people sleep better in jail. Law and Order? No, I saw it in a different movie. The crime movie with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. What's that movie?
I mean, there's a lot of them. Heat?
No, that's with Val Kilmer. No, the other one.
The Irishman?
No, God, there is a lot. No, the other one.
Righteous Kill?
Righteous Kill. Righteous Kill. It flat out says, the guilty ones, when they go to jail, they sleep like a baby because they don't have to worry about getting caught anymore. It's like a thing. It's like a cathartic thing. You're welcome for tattling. I'm helping you.
So much for better or worse. Till death do us part.
I feel like I'd still love it. I mean, if you cheated on me, I wouldn't. If you went to jail for murder, that's more likely.
Here's a funny thing.
More likely for me to forgive and love.
Should we tell them how we've in a very
Wait, I don't think any other married couple does this, but we're really like
detached from emotion.
I don't know.
Sociopaths.
You want to tell?
Yeah, let's go for it. Why not?
So Robert and I have talked about.
This is very tongue-in-cheek.
If I say it, it sounds terrible. Now I'm scared to like tell the world, but like, what do I care? So
it's just YouTube. It's fine.
So Robert and I have talked about. Okay, so in the event of a divorce, you're gonna take her because you're like I'm like Robert's gonna take her.
I was just saying there's not many lawyers involved because we don't really care about it.
We're gonna be fine. And he's like, you can have the sofa. I was like, I can have this sofa. Thanks. And so like,
yeah,
we've already
just gonna take the power blocks and the pull-up bar and my laptop.
Of course, that's yours. Look, we got that for you. I give him that. Like we understand, and we already talked about like I could have Sophia for the summers. Is that it? Because I'm off.
Can I have the protein bars?
You can have all 828 protein bars. I gift you the protein bars. All the cabinet, that whole pantry, you can have.
I'm gonna take aggro too. In the tropics.
That I would just order by myself. You just gotta give me his contact information. Because I feel like we would be so fine with it. We did break up 7 times before we were married, so it's like we're kind of good at it.
We're pros at it.
Yeah.
We never got emotional about it. Like we never had a screaming throw.
No. Well, because my biggest turnoff is someone not being interested in me. Yeah. So it was like you might have initiated the dump conversation, but I never ever said you dumped me. I always said it was mutual. Because the second you would say, I'd go,
yeah.
Do you want to break up? And he's like, I was like, me too. I was thinking about it, and I really think it's a good idea. And then one time you came over to my house, And I hugged you, and he like did that. And I was like,
this is in River Ridge.
This is in River Ridge. And I'm standing in my door, and he had driven all the way over. It was like a 20-minute drive just to like tell me in person. Such a gentleman, by the way. And he goes, takes his hands. It's like, I think we should break up. And I go, oh my God, without missing a beat. I went, oh my God, that's so funny. Cause I was totally going to dump you, I think yesterday, but then I was like, no, I'm not going to dump him. So this is really good. Thank you this is a good idea. I agree with this. And you were like, okay, so
we're cool.
We're cool. That's what you said. We're cool. I was like, totally. Thanks. And then I remember as I was walking away to shut the door, I was like, hey, Mom, guess what? I shut the door.
And then you went and put on Michael Bolton in your room and cried for 6 hours straight.
If I was going to cry to you, it wasn't to Michael Bolton. It was to Boyz II Men.
There we go.
Okay? Water runs dry. Let's talk about that.
Like Chris Body and his trumpet.
What I'm just saying, like at no point, and then it was so funny because like my little homeroom girls were like, oh my God, I got dumped. I'm like, you are not telling people you got dumped, are you? Stop that. You stop that right now. You say it was mutual. My God, you cry on your pillow and you come to school fine. You understand me? So it's not like I'm fake. So maybe that's my fake, but it's not fake. It's me like lying to myself.
Taking the power position.
I'm taking the power position. I just refuse to show weakness.
Ed Phillips has joined the party. Hi, Phil and family. If they're watching too, he's both concerned and confused at our conversation. That's a good thing. That's a very good thing. Oh, you should honestly be confused all the time about this conversation.
Yeah.
Anytime she talks, it's
Yes. Isn't that funny that I make people confused, but I make a living for teaching
educating the future of
unconfusing
America.
people?
Our society is so up a creek without a paddle. Brooke,
Thanks.
I think Instagram and TikTok are way worse of an influence than saying everything. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree.
The only thing I ever tell my kids is I'm like, the advice I say is stop taking advice from other people. I was like, really just need to follow your heart. Like God gave you your instincts and who you are for a reason. So you need to get in tune with who you are and know what really brings the genuine joy. What do you really want? And if something's awkward or feels uncomfortable, get out of the situation. That's all I tell them.
It's the same thing Aunt Bubba told me when I was a high schooler. Was deciding whether to get back with you or not or break up with you.
And that doesn't mean like
follow your heart.
It doesn't mean to be like flighty or something. It means to like know who you are because God made every single person different. And so if you try to listen to what other people say, you're doing what they would do, which isn't what you should do. Because I think you should make good choices. I think you should make choices you're proud of. That's why I was talking about the snitching thing. You should be making choices you're proud of. You should stand by who you are all the time. And then if you make a mistake, you know what you should do? Learn from it, appreciate the mistake, grow from it, and say, you know what? Okay, the next time I'm in this situation, I won't do it. And the next time someone else does this, I'll have empathy for the mistake they made. So I said, if basically at any point in your life, you're wishing you could go back in time and do it differently, you're doing it wrong. That's the best I can tell you because you only got one life to live. You can't go back in time and change it. So
I'm working on that flux
it's
capacitor.
Relative. It's relative. Time is relative. I don't know. So that's what I tell them. I'm like, just live a life you're proud of. You only get to live once. So just, there you go. That's the best advice I can give you is be proud of who you are.
I'm also taking this Zubroca.
Zubroca. Wait, what about it?
I'm taking it. When we have our eventual
in our
and the Wheel of Time book.
That'll break my heart. Okay, so Robert reads to Sophia out of this comic book, the
Infinity Gauntlet.
The Infinity Gauntlet. Thanos. So she's like, show me Thanos. Show me Silver Surfer. Okay. But then I want him to read aloud to me Wheel of Time. And I have to like fight with my 3-year-old. I'm like, hey, Sophia, you already had daddy time. Mama gets to have daddy read to her now.
The Infinity Gauntlet Omnibus.
So he's reading this to her.
1,000 pages of comic book glory.
And I can't read comic books. I know this sounds weird, but as scatterbrained as I am, that is too scatterbrained. I need words. I'm an outline girl. I don't like bubble maps. I'm not a picture artsy person. I hate reading comic books. They make me like dizzy. I need words. You know what I'm saying? Like just.
I think that those are your personality on paper, though. Like as in your face and high intensity as
I know, but
you are the comic book. You are the real life manifestation of a comic book.
I know, and everybody thinks like, I know, I don't like me. I like being me. I just don't want to be around me. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's why you married somebody the complete polar opposite.
Yeah, and all of my super close friends are all quiet, introverted.
Julie was
thoughtful. Okay, but my high school friends don't. I mean, like,
You're talking about nowadays.
I'm talking about like as I've been older.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
college to adulthood.
Okay.
My close friends are quieter, thoughtful. The two of them.
Which we're on the
The
very
beginning.
first one. Eye of the World.
And like he reads to me every night. He like just reads aloud and I just sit there and listen. So that way we can read together. But then like Sophia's like, can you read me? And I'm like, fine, Sophia, you can take daddy.
It's a good thing. We're rearing the 3-year-old right. She wants to be sat and be read to instead of wanting to go, I don't know, play with Pokemon cards or something.
We don't have
whatever
an
the
iPad.
little whippersnappers do.
We don't have an iPad. We don't have any of those button things.
Whew. Here's a good guys. Post up. I know we're on a bunch of different tangents here. If you actually have any supplement questions, feel free to post those up. We are going to do a supplement review here in a second, but we're going to get through a
Well, I
bunch of
kind of
these
want to do a
questions
blind taste of all. Okay, we'll do that later. Okay. My first reaction, Devin, if we're going with first reaction, my first reaction was obviously the 20 toes because then I can hide them in a shoe. But then it was like, wait, logistics. What type of shoe could I possibly get? It would have to be specially made. And I'm a girl. All the different occasions where you have to wear the shoes. So now that I'm thinking about it, I would own the 20 fingers and I think it would give me a really good way to test people's soul. Hi, how are you doing? And if they get freaked out, I'm like, you don't have substance in your soul. I could like quality check with my fingers. I like the fingers. I'd go fingers. Fingers. Easy question, Devin. What about you?
Toes?
You're not worried about getting shoes that are comfortable? Because it's a big deal.
Yeah, but I'm trying to like I most of my time is spent on a computer. I'm trying to figure out where would the other 10 fingers go because I've already figured out how to type with just 10 fingers. What in the world are the other?
No,
10
it'd be
fingers
like a
gonna
mirror
do?
image here. You'd be like wings on each hand.
I don't need that. Like if I'm a professional pianist, that might be great because then instead of stretching like an octave or a 13th, I could go like the entire span of the board. But yeah, I don't need that.
I'm not trying to get like dirty on the, but I can definitely think of.
We're not.
Like,
we're not.
I'm just saying, I would rather you have the
Back
fingers.
to the Wheel of Time. We can skip from book 8 to the last 3. Well, the last couple of books were finished up by Brandon Sanderson, who's another well-known fantasy author. So I'm curious to see how closely their two writing styles align.
Man, I don't want to sit here and what does that mean? Can I ask a question?
Well, no, the original author's widow handpicked this guy because he's been such like a.
He says I can skip it.
No, he said skip to the last 3. So Robert Jordan was writing at book 8. Like there's 14 books in the series or 13.
Okay. I just don't want it to end nasty. I just want it to be well done. I don't want to get into something and then it like ends in a horrible way. And you're like,
High dose of niacin daily. I know Joey Savage, the CSO over at Glaxon, is a huge fan of taking high doses of niacin. Like it's got a bunch of benefits as far as like blood pressure and things like that. The issue with like high dose niacin, you turn like red as like a red delicious apple.
You mean your skin, or
Yes.
do you mean like you just get flushed when you're on it?
Yeah, you get super flushed.
For how long?
It's gonna be a while,
Like
a couple hours.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like jaundiced or something. Where
No,
you're just walking
no.
around
Like,
red.
it subsides by the end of the day, but if you megadose it again,
Okay, where there's a red again.
do I think it's necessary? No, but I need to look into some more research on like the super high doses on it. I'm talking, like over a gram. I don't know. I've never messed with doses that high. I think the highest I've gone is like 500 or something like that. It can get uncomfortable if you're not used to it. Same thing with like high dose beta alanine if you're not used to it. Yeah. But I remember BPI Sports 1MR. This was like 5 years ago, right when I was first getting into supplements, trying like some of their pre-workouts. It had super high doses of niacin, made my ears burn.
Yeah, I hate that.
It was not a very comfortable experience.
It's hard, especially when you're trying to work out.
It's distracting.
Yeah, like I want to focus, and it's so bad. I feel bad when I work out with him. I'm always talking to him because I'm always hyper. But when I do work out, I want to focus mentally entirely on the actual workout. Otherwise, I'm gonna hurt myself, like the time that I hurt myself. But yeah, you have to focus. And so when something like make my ears burn, I can't focus on my workout. I'm like, stop it.
Okay, there we go. I ever got around to finally trying Morphogen's adaptogens? No, I had been on the podcast to discuss the formula for adaptogens, but I have not personally tried it. I've got so many supplements here.
Yeah.
No, I have not purchased it. Most of the ingredients that are in his adaptogen, I have bulk here anyway, so I could probably concoct a similar formula.
Okay.
Let me pull it up and see what's all in it.
Let's see, guys.
And I know it's got, I think it's got Bacopa in it.
Bacopa monieri.
Which I
I said it right this time, y'all. That's a big deal. Oh, I like the shirts though. They're kind of cool looking.
Here we go. Adaptogen. Okay, we can probably we'll do a screen share so all the beautiful people out in YouTube world can see this.
So you don't have to see our faces, so you can actually see the product.
Yeah. Wonk. All right, there we go. We got Cordyceps sinensis, lion's mane, reishi.
Ooh.
Yes, which we just bought some reishi the
You
other
did.
like,
You gave
big
it to
giant
me.
tub of mushroom powder. I've been giving you 2 grams a day.
Thanks, bud.
For immune support and all that stuff. It's also got some really good liver health benefits. Good for me. Lion's mane, yeah, I love that dose of that. And he's using the fruiting body, which I actually like, versus the mycelium.
Right.
Tulsi, which is holy basil leaf, got some good calming properties in there. So it says adaptogens, but it's kind of got a different riff on it, because a lot of times with adaptogens we see rhodiola, bacopa, ashwagandha.
Okay.
Those are kind of like the 3 main adaptogens that everybody thinks of. But a lot of these medicinal mushrooms
This sounds exciting.
have some really good adaptogenic properties as well.
What is this purpose? Just a daily supplement?
Yeah, to kind of modulate the body's stress response and
That's
just
awesome.
help you adapt to whatever.
Could I
physical,
take it every
mental,
day?
emotional
You like
stressors.
Neurofactor a lot.
I love Neurofactor.
So wait, if I take this every day, it's helping me just function as a healthy human being.
Yeah, just kind of keep your cortisol levels in check, help you to optimize your cognitive function, your physical performance, your recovery. Kind of hits it on a few other things. Magnolia bark is really good. That was in Glaxon Serenity as well, which that thing, even at a half dose, that stuff just kind of makes you go.
It's sleepy.
No, just like you're chill. Like you don't give a.
Is it an
rat's behind
anti-stress
about anything.
medicine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it helps with that. So, yeah, all really good stuff. That's a solid. I mean, everything Morphogen does basically is
That's exciting.
really, really quality stuff.
What I'd be curious about is how it tastes.
Is this? Yeah. Ooh,
It says it's a scoop.
It's going to be very earthy because mushroom.
Let me tell you something. I have learned I'm fine with earthy. What I'm not fine with is bitter. That I don't play
I'm not
that.
sure why you said that with such emphasis towards me.
Because Robert's tried to make me taste bitter things, and I have to tell him no, because I like mushroom things, but I don't like bitter things. The bitter things stay with you. So gross.
Thoughts? If you have access to fresh lion's mane mushrooms, go for it. That would be awesome.
Would you cook it first then? You
Yeah,
said
absolutely,
all
yeah.
mushroom people say you should cook mushrooms
Yes.
first, which
High
is crazy.
High heat. Cook them until it helps kind of sear in some of the moisture and also prevents them from getting slimy. So slice them like 1/4 of an inch thick in a pan, really screaming hot, or throw them in an air fryer. Really, really good. I do portobellos or button mushrooms each night. We don't have lion's mane mushrooms around us. If you have access to fresh lion's mane, go for it.
That's so cool.
But I mean, you're getting the same stuff. You're just gonna have to eat a larger quantity of the fresh food versus getting like a concentrated extract or a dried mushroom powder, since there's such a high water content of
Okay.
the medicinal mushrooms or just mushrooms in general.
There you go.
Hi, Robert. Hey, Sandy. Hi. Are multivitamins essential in bodybuilding?
Ooh. That's such a weird question, because when I work out, I've had you say things like, don't take a multivitamin right away or something like that. And I'm like, oh, that seems weird. And you kind of talked about it last time. So that's why it's interesting to hear. It's like, oh, are they like essential, like necessary to bodybuilding? It's an interesting question when you think about what you said about working out close to the vitamin.
Well, yeah, you don't want to take high dose antioxidants or anti-inflammatory compounds in the peri-workout window. So I would say like as a buffer, 3 hours on either side of your training window, because that can blunt some of the beneficial adaptations induced by resistance training, or if you're doing interval training, any type of strenuous exercise causes inflammation and oxidative stress in the body, but those act as signals for the body to kind of like ramp up muscle protein synthesis and all the other positive beneficial adaptations that accompany, strenuous exercise. So that's why you don't want to take anti-inflammatories and super high dose antioxidants.
When you're like powerlifting.
Yeah, when you're powerlifting, resistance training, bodybuilding, any of that stuff. Are multivitamins essential within the context of like a whole diet? Well, multivitamins are just giving you, quality doses, hopefully, of the essential vitamins and minerals that you need. So they're called essential for a reason. Our bodies can't make them. We need to get them from food. So if you are not getting them from food, then yeah, that's where a multivitamin would become essential. It's shifted from a supplement to essential, because some of the most common deficiencies, nutrient deficiencies, in especially like high level athletes or just active populations, magnesium, zinc, boron, those are 3 big ones. And those all have impacts on recovery, hormone production, muscle contraction, cognitive function, those kind of things.
That's interesting.
So, and plus you don't have, like, we have a rough idea of the micronutrient content of foods. So we have a rough idea based on like the FDA values, the RDA values, or whatever the USDA puts out as far as the thing. So you flip over your package like ground beef, you look at the store and it's got protein, fat, and then at the bottom it's got vitamins, D, vitamin, whatever, magnesium, all these other values in there. Those are just approximations. Same thing with like zucchini. You buy a raw zucchini at the store, a bag of frozen broccoli. It's got those, and then you can punch in the numbers on MyFitnessPal or My Macros or FitDay or whatever other kind of like macro tabulating software you're using. And it'll give you those values. But again, those are approximations. If you buy a fresh stalk of broccoli at the store, it wasn't just harvested that morning. It was picked in Mexico, sat in a warehouse for 3 weeks, then got put on a truck, driven across the country, so it was 3 weeks in transit, then sat in back of the storage at the grocery store, then probably sat for another week on the shelf at the grocery store. By the time you're doing it, it's like a month and a half, 2 months that it's been.
You're making it sound like you don't want to eat fresh vegetables.
No, I'm just saying like we don't have any idea of the actual micronutrient value. There's going to be some there, but it's not going to be as high as if it was like fresh picked or you went to like a farmer's market, possibly. So that's why in certain cases, frozen is superior to fresh, but it's, get a mix of everything, and plus various cooking methods, storage methods, preparation methods can change the micronutrient profile of these things too. So I recommend multivitamins. It's kind of like the 5, like if we're talking like a basic 5 supplement stack for people, I just recommend a quality multivitamin, especially if you're a highly active individual, because your micronutrient needs are going to be amplified compared to, Johnny Couch Potato that's just doing like bicep curls with potato chips to his mouth during the day, and that's all he's doing. So your body's going to have increased requirements because it's going to be spending more time actual in physical activity, but also in recovering and repairing and growing new tissues as well. So yeah, I would recommend it. I won't say it's essential. If you're eating a well-rounded diet, you probably have a pretty good thing, but
every day.
Like again, you don't know, so it's good to have it as an insurance policy. So yeah, there's a ton of really good high quality multivitamins that aren't super expensive either. Legion Athletics has a good one. Inspired Nutraceuticals has a really good one. NutriBios is a good quality. Glaxons is a good one. Said Inspired Nutraceuticals. Ghost is a good one too. Yeah, lots of really good options out there on the market. PES is another one. Chocolate is amazing. Doesn't taste bitter at all. That's the adaptogens, is what he's talking about. The chocolate adaptogens.
Oh, good to know. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna reach out to Ben and see.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm gonna get some of that. Wife has a crab cake lion's mane. Ooh, I love crab cakes and I love lion's mane. That sounds really good.
Can I just tell you?
Can you email that to me?
Can I just?
My email is in the comments section down below. Please email me that recipe.
Okay, can I just tell you that when you go to New Orleans, crab cakes are just abundance. And I like the cheaper crab cakes where there's a ton of the stuffing. The nicer crab, I tend to like the cheaper things. And then the nice crab cakes are like just crab meat. And I'm like, but then it's not really a crab cake now, is it? I want the cake and the crab cake. I want the breading with the seasoning and all the I want to eat the stuffing. Like my favorite dish of Thanksgiving is stuffing. And so I would go to a restaurant and I have to be like, so are your crab cakes, and I didn't know how to ask the question, because if I say is there like stuffing in it, they would try to like, oh, no, it's all crab. And I'm like, but then if I say, is it mostly crab? They're like, yeah, no. So I didn't know ever how to ask. I was like, what's the ratio of your crab cakes? So I was like, I want the one with a lot of stuffing on it. I didn't know how to say I want the low quality one, because it's low quality to everybody else, but it's good for me. So even if it's not made with crab, I ain't got no issue with that, because that's not even the part I like. I like all the other stuff.
All right. Okay. Keep the comments, questions, and whatnot going, guys. We are going to pause for a quick commercial break. We are going to do supplement review. So we've talked about Apollo Nutrition here. Actually, let me hide that comment there.
We're going to do a review.
We are going to do a review on Apollo Nutrition's latest new flavor. So I know, all right, we're going to get all the niceties out the way. Yes, Robbie is a really good friend of mine. Yes, I do consult with them on some formulations and whatnot. Yes, we've liked his other proteins in the past before, but with everything, taste is highly subjective. Take this with a grain of salt. This is 50-50, so 50% of it's whey protein isolate, half of the other half is casein, so you get a blend. So you
I like casein because it coats the tongue.
Yes.
I think casein is my favorite flavor kind of protein.
Casein, it's thick. It gives you a thicker mouthfeel. Plus, you get the high leucine content and the rapid digestion from leucine, so you get that quick spike in amino acids. Wow. Plus, you get the sustained release of amino acids into the bloodstream from casein. Plus, it also forms like this thick goop in your GI tract, so it slows the digestion, helps you feel fuller for longer.
I mean,
it's more satiating.
I want some goop in my digestive tract.
There you go.
That's what I'm all about.
And so we've reviewed the other flavors of this before, the strawberry, chocolate, and peanut butter cookie. peanut butter cookie is fan-freaking
That's my
fantastic.
That's my number one.
And I think their Dutch chocolate is probably my favorite chocolate on the market. Like I said, I'm a little biased, but I mean, I've tried a bunch of different chocolates.
I think it is too.
And theirs is a really dark chocolate flavor. A lot of other chocolate proteins are milk chocolate. So if you like milk chocolate, that's great. Yeah. I like really dark, deep, rich chocolate, girthy.
I like their peanut butter cookie the best. I don't know how to explain it. Anytime I just need a scoop of random protein powder, I go for the peanut butter cookie one.
Yeah. So first off, thank you, Robbie, for sending this out to us. This is caramel macchiato.
So I love coffee flavored proteins because I put them in my coffee. Because then I can do both. I can get my coffee and my protein.
So we got this last week. Spoiler alert, Sandy tried it in coffee. We have not tried it just in so
I don't know what
water.
It's like by itself.
So we're going to see what it's like in water.
Yeah. And here's what I want to do. Yeah. Like I want to test it against all the other coffee flavored protein powders. I want to do like a blind test of all the coffee flavors.
I want to just get a solo review on this one up and then we can, because I'm sure anytime we try to compare a bunch of different brands, I inevitably get 1 or 2 angry emails or something.
Why?
Just because people say, how can you compare this? Or why are you doing it?
I'm just comparing the flavor.
It happened. Yeah, I know, but it happens. Okay. It's happened on more than one occasion. So we've got
bad idea. 1
scoop in
water.
8 ounces of water. It says 1 to 2 scoops in 6 to 12 ounces of water. We've got 1 scoop in 8 ounces of cold water here.
Okay. I'm excited. Because I've only ever had it in my coffee. I'm like, put it in my coffee. So I don't know what it's like raw or whatever.
There we go.
With water. Right. What? Smells like coffee. It smells like coffee. That's so cool. Smells like
so if
a
you
cappuccino.
If you like those caramel frappuccino thingies from Starbucks, this is going to be
very
much like this.
Oh my gosh. I just want to keep smelling it. Okay.
And from what Robbie told me,
I'm in a coffee shop.
They picked up like the Starbucks version of this, took it to the manufacturer's flavoring house and says, we want this, and they nailed it on the first try.
Oh my God. It's better not in the coffee, actually.
Is it?
This is bad. This is good. Oh my God, and I taste the caramel aftertaste.
Wow.
I don't do that when I drink it in coffee. Never mind. Don't put it in coffee. It's better by itself. This is so good. It has like a milk. That's why I like casein though. It coats the tongue. It's like milky caramel.
Yeah. So if you ever had like
caramel frappuccino at the end.
If you ever had those Swiss Miss like French vanilla cappuccino, like those instant mixes of the coffee things that you can get in the coffee out of the store, that's exactly what this tastes like. That is really good.
It coats my mouth.
So the other protein we've done is 1UP's caramel toffee macchiato. We've reviewed that one previously on the channel. We're going to need to do those head to head next week.
This is creamy. This is so creamy. It does. It tastes like a blended caramel.
Yeah.
Vanilla though. It tastes more caramel vanilla coffee. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say that? You know, there's like all those different flavors.
That's what I'm saying. Like the Swiss Miss boxes of the instant coffee, it was a French vanilla cappuccino.
Oh my God. And I taste the caramel at the end. You get the caramel at the end. You start with the coffee vanilla and then it ends with the caramel. The caramel cream. It's like I'm eating whipped cream. It tastes like I'm tasting like the whipped cream caramel in the cup.
Okay, yeah. Super thick tasting, super enjoyable. And I'm a coffee nut. I love coffee. I don't like flavored coffees, but this is a flavored coffee thing I would drink. And
the aftertaste is so good. It's like you want to drink it just for that aftertaste because it tastes so whipped creamy.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you, Robbie, for sending that. That was outstanding.
I've been messing this up. I've been trying to make my coffee taste better by putting this in, but all I did was make this worse.
Okay.
You can put it in your coffee, but this tastes great alone. It actually tastes better alone than it does in my coffee. Could you know?
Does that supersede peanut butter cookie or dark chocolate in your opinion? Or are they just
okay? Let me tell you why I always go for the peanut butter cookie. I always go for the peanut butter cookie because it is the easiest flavor. You know, it's not too any one direction. If you're just in the mood for protein, you got to find your central zone. All right, you don't really want to go for the crazy flavors when you're just like in the mood for protein. So I found that peanut butter cookie is the easiest for me to gravitate toward because it's not too rich and it's not too anything. It's just good and it's like a home base. If that makes sense. It's not too sweet. It's not too this. So that's why I like peanut butter cookie all the time. So it's not like I like this more than peanut butter cookie. It's if I was in the mood for a coffee beverage, I would drink this. But if I'm in the mood for just whatever, I'm always going to go with the peanut butter cookie.
So usually on Saturdays when we head to Iron Wolf, sometimes I don't have time to eat lunch because I'm going basically straight from recording the Final Scoop podcast and we hop in the car, wake up the halfling, hit the road to go to Iron Wolf. And I'll usually just have 2 scoops of protein powder and water. So I'll usually do 1 scoop of the peanut butter cookie and 1 scoop of Holland's chocolate.
Is it good?
It's really good, but I'm going to swap the peanut butter cookie out now for the chocolate. I'm going to try that now. So a chocolate caramel mocha kind of thing. I'm going to try that this weekend, I think.
I think the chocolate will make this not taste as good. This is delicious by itself.
It's top notch right.
I just like how creamy it is. Is that the casein?
Yeah.
It tastes like whipped cream.
Yeah.
I can't get over it. I'm eating whipped cream and I'm cutting.
Yeah, whey protein isolate, micellar casein, sunflower oil, gum blend of cellulose, xanthan gum, carrageenan, decaffeinated coffee.
It tastes like I'm eating
That's why
whipped
you could definitely
cream.
get the coffee flavor.
So if you're cutting, this is like a nice treat. I just want to throw that out there.
Natural artificial flavor, salt.
You can make this a
sucrose,
coffee
good.
ice cream.
Really good. Really, really good. All right. Keep the comments, questions going, guys. Anything else? We will get to it.
Just throwing that out there.
Who would Robert? That's a really good question.
That is a good question. Here's the problem. We have to define what you mean by affair. Do you mean a relationship? Because that's like a thing, right? Like Robert is a very low maintenance, and what I mean by that is he requires a very low maintenance girl. Like you couldn't have a needy girl. You couldn't have a needy mistress.
Not a chance. No.
You know what you would need is like a high class hooker. But he doesn't like dirty. But what I mean by high class hooker is like she would be very independent and she wouldn't require much from you. But Robert doesn't like, I mean, would you trust her? Like her body? If she's like going around with other guys?
No.
That's gross.
Yeah.
I think that'd gross him out. I mean,
Yeah.
wait, am I speaking for you? Would that gross you out?
That would
I mean, she's going having sex with someone, she's coming to you. That's awkward. That's just dirty.
That's gross.
Go take a bath. Go spray some antibacterial. I don't know. Yeah. That's a tough one. And she'd have to have a lower pitched voice. You don't like high pitched voices.
No.
These are good questions.
Yeah. Any person in the world, if you dare say.
No.
I think he's hoping like I'm going to name an actress or like a sports star or something like that.
Yeah, but you don't go for looks. You go for personality.
Clearly.
It's an affair.
Clearly.
Wait.
Clearly I do go for personality, not looks.
Are you saying, wait, I don't know what that means.
Right. You insulted yourself. You said Robert goes for personality, not looks. So you're calling yourself.
I'm okay with that. My looks gonna fade, baby. All you're gonna have left is me. I don't know. Is there an act? I don't even know. I mean, I only have like a crush on like one actor, kind of two, when I'm only in certain scenes.
Yeah.
Do you know who my two crushes are?
Yeah, your boy from Blacklist.
Tom.
The Weasel.
When he's a teacher, not when he's the oh, spoiler alert. Never mind. When he's a teacher, I do. I'm like, Tom. But to be fair, he reminds me of you. And then he's not you anymore. And I'm like, you're not cute anymore. You're a bad boy. And then the other one is the actor, James McAvoy.
Yeah, the guy that was
I love James McAvoy. I'm like,
X-Men movies.
But do you have one? Who do you go for? Who do you go for?
I don't know. It's a really hard question.
Me.
You.
Me. No, really, I wouldn't know who you would go for. Would you go for dark hair? Would you go for blonde? Would you go for red hair? Would you go for, definitely not curly hair.
I'd go for Ariel from The Little Mermaid.
He's just saying that. This is my least favorite freaking. She is a selfish, unintelligent. She makes bad choices. She doesn't even know how to get a guy to kiss her. You just kiss him. How about that? Like, it's ridiculous. I don't like her. I don't like Ariel. Okay? I don't like Ariel.
Frappa Crappuccino with gains. Yes, that's
exactly
how you think
what
it is. Whey isolate is lower in lactose.
Right.
I haven't done the crab cakes yet, but you said you just Googled it. Okay. Yes, whey isolate is lower in lactose. It is. So whey concentrate. So you got 3 grades of whey protein, 3 major grades. You have whey protein concentrate, whey protein isolate, and hydrolyzed whey protein or whey protein hydrolysis. Whey protein concentrate can vary anywhere between 35 to 80% protein by mass.
It's a huge difference.
Right. And supplement companies are not required by law to list which grade of protein they're using.
Wait, that is so different.
Exactly. So that's why a lot of people say, well, whey protein doesn't agree with my stomach. Chances are they probably bought some like BOGO protein, which means buy one, get one free protein.
I know.
Okay.
Bargain.
Well, yeah, and that's why do you think it's so cheap? Because supplement companies do not get a very big margin on protein. Is one of the most expensive things that are out there. They don't make very big margin on it. So if you're constantly doing like BOGOs and all this stuff, they're probably not using a very high quality protein. So that's why a lot of people will complain of GI distress from whey protein concentrate, because the cheaper the concentrate is, so the less protein, the more fat and the more lactose and carbs that you're going to have in. So it's a wide variety. So some companies like NutriBio and a few others will name that says, hey, we use only WPC 80. Primeval Labs in their whey uses only WPC 80. SteelFit and their steel whey uses only WPC 80. MTS whey uses only WPC 80 in theirs. Isolate is a standard above, which means it has a minimum of 90% protein, and some of them go as high as 95% protein by mass. So if we're talking like, if we're going for like the cleanest or leanest protein, it's going to be whey isolate.
Premium.
But then again, that's going through another step in the refinement process. So it's
more processed.
It's more processed. It's leaner. It's going to be more, a little bit more processed. So much better. Plus, depending on the way that the isolate is made, you could be losing some of the beneficial bioactive immune boosting biofractions that are in whey concentrate, which can kind of support the immune system in the body.
So now, what did I just eat? Isolate.
And then hydrolyzed whey is chemical enzymes are added to regular whey isolate, which are to pre-digest them and make them think, the thinking was, hey, we pre-digest this, it digests even more rapidly into the body.
It's snowflake.
Gonna make you recover even more better, faster spike in amino acids. But the drawback with that is the faster it enters the bloodstream, it's cleared out that much quicker.
What does that mean? I don't know why that's bad.
It gives you a rapid rise in amino acids in the bloodstream, but they're quickly removed out. So they're not very filling. The area under the curve, if you're looking at the spike in muscle protein synthesis, it's really fast, but then it goes down quick. So like the area under the curve isn't as great with hydrolyzed whey. Plus the research looking at on terms of like recovery and growth, comparing like regular whey or even versus casein versus hydrolyzed whey, it's all a wash. Like there's not one showing like this rapid advanced technology of using hydrolyzed whey is going to be that much better for digestion and gains and recovery and all of that stuff. Plus hydrolyzed whey is also more expensive because it goes through yet another part of the
more stuff going
process. And it tastes like crap because of those chemical enzymes. It gives a very chemically taste to it. So that's why I don't even recommend. So say you're like super lactose intolerant, well then go for a plant protein, go for an egg white protein, or go for like a whey protein isolate and take some digestive enzymes with it or something like that. That might help, because whey protein isolate already has maybe like 1 or 2 grams of carbs with it at most with it. So there's very little lactose. And even WPC 80, it sounds like a big difference. WPC 80 versus WPI 90.
Kind of.
You look at that, 80% versus 90% protein. You're looking at a 30-gram scoop. You're looking at 1 gram of protein swap for like half a gram of fat and 1 gram of carbs. That's the only swap that's really going on there. So 23 versus 24 and a half or something like that.
Heard.
So yeah, a lot of companies will say that whey protein isolate is the superior protein choice or the cleanest. I mean, a lot of that's marketing jargon. WPC 80 is, I would say it's right up there with WPI 90, just in terms of like overall quality and beneficial, impacts and all that stuff. So yeah, that is the rundown on the wheys.
The rundown on the wheys.
That answers the bottom or top mermaid question. Yeah. Totally with you on McAvoy. Want it with him in it just.
I know. I'm with you.
Okay. Well, there we go.
But who's yours? He's so picky. I don't even know how we're together. Like, he's so picky. I would be like, oh, she's pretty. He's like, she looks like a puma. I'm like, what is that even? Who says that?
Who was that? That was Uma Thurman?
Yeah, he was like, she looks like a puma. Yeah. I was like, what does that even freaking mean? They're all beautiful.
When I look at girls, I see like animal features in them for some reason.
And how are you with me? I look like a freaking bird. Like, you know what? If he's got the rose-tinted glasses, we're going to let him take them.
Well, I mean, you got the bird beat going on. I mean,
I know.
But I've got a pointy nose too and big eyes, so it's fine.
Listen.
Should we talk about the time it was at Christmas when you called everybody a different animal? You called my mom a cow.
I did. That's okay. I can't lie. God, I see what I see. Okay, so I do this thing, and I got myself into trouble too because I did it with my students, what type of food they were. And I told a boy, like I was like, you're celery. I'm like, no, you're sweet. You're a chocolate chip cookie. And then I see this boy who's the only freshman in the sophomore level class. He's sweet and quiet and really smart. And I was like, you're definitely sweet. I know what you are. You're the stick of a fun dip, right? Like not the powder part, but you're the stick. That you dip in, to which one of the sophomore smart kids was like, he's a dipstick. You're saying he's a dipstick. And I was like, oh, I just gave him a terrible nickname. I did that. I called him Dipstick. But I was like, you offended. I was trying to be nice. And it backfired. So we're at Christmas. I don't know why I do these things. I'm like, if you were an animal, you'd be this. I told your dad he'd be a bear. Because he's like comfortable and he's like a papa bear and he likes to sleep and he likes to sit. And he was like, I'm a bear. And I was like, I'm sorry, what do you think you are? You don't think you're a bear? Because you're definitely a bear. And so then I was like, you're this. I look at Robert's mom and I swear, I was like, you're so giving, because she's a nurse. And she's so giving and she's so loving. I was like, you're a cow. And everyone was like, I'm sorry, did you just call your mother-in-law a cow? I was like, yeah. Because the whole time, and I didn't even understand what I said that was so wrong. I was like, they've got udders and they milk. And so like they give of their milk to everyone and they nourish everyone. It's a great gift. Like a cow is so loving and nurturing. And then later when I tell someone, they're like, you called your mother-in-law a cow? I was like, yeah. And I stood by it. I'm like, she's a cow. What?
Here we go. Yin and yang. I think you meant meerkat, not puma.
I don't know what he's talking about. I still can't figure out an actress that you'd be interested in. You know, there is one that I think you've got the hots for. It's Carmen Electra, right? I mean, before, not now, but like before, when she was in her heyday. The Doritos girl. Was that her? Or Allie Landry was the Doritos girl?
Allie Landry?
She's pretty hot.
She's pretty, yeah. I just don't know if that... Yeah.
I don't know.
In their heyday, that's an interesting comparison. Carmen versus Allie.
I'd go Allie.
Would you?
She looks cleaner.
Who dated Mario Lopez from Saved by the Bell?
That was Allie Landry, and he cheated on her. See, that's what you got to watch out for, those super pretty people. They're going to get cheated on.
Like Heidi Klum.
She was cheated on?
Isn't that why they broke up? I mean, that's why I assumed.
Let me tell you something. People be insecure. That's why they cheat, because they insecure. Maybe that's why you're not interested in anyone else, because you're so secure. He's so secure. I just, there's no reason for me to cheat, because I was like, what can you give me I don't already have? I dare you to tell me what's worth ruining what I already have, because I already have everything I need. Do it. Oh, you're funny? So is my husband. Or you're cool? So my husband. My husband's better than you. Don't even try it.
So humble.
I have like a sign that's like, my husband's better than you, so don't even try it. No, really, he's always right.
I am a Shinetsky.
We did talk about what character. Okay, so I watched the extended edition. What did you do over the holidays? I watched the extended editions of all the Lord of the Rings back to back to back to back. That's what I did. And I was like, dude, I'd be Pippin. Which one would I be? I'd be Pippin. And I hate that I would be Pippin. I was like, I'm the one that's making the mistakes and like whatever, the goofball. And so I asked Robert. I have the audacity to like ask Robert of all the 9 main characters. And you also got like the Elf King and everything. I was like, Robert, who do you think you would be? And he goes, pfft. I go, oh God. He goes, of course, I'd be Aragorn. Like, what kind of a question is that? I'm the king. I'm the king. I was like, okay. Sorry for asking.
We did play a fun game the other night. So what's your biggest flaw?
Yeah. I was like, if we really know each other, we would know what is our biggest flaw. So I thought about mine.
I nailed hers.
And I thought about Robert. Yeah. Well, what's mine, Robert? We both know what it is. Yeah. We've talked about it. It's
the lack of a filter.
I have foot and mouth syndrome. I just talk. And so anyways, that's a flaw. I need to work on it. And so I was like, Robert, I think I know what yours is. Do you know what yours is?
I said, yes, I care too much.
No, he goes, I know what you would say mine is. And if you knew what I was going to say, you would know that what he just said just solidified the flaw. Robert is always right, which is great, except sometimes, every once in a blue moon, every 8 years or so, he is wrong. And he sucks at admitting he's wrong. He sucks at it. I'm wrong all the time. all the time. I'm a math teacher. You know how many times I've like accidentally written a plus when it's supposed to be a minus? Ms. Shinesky, that's not, oh, my bad. Okay, I'm wrong all the time. So I'm really good at being wrong. And I get so mad at him. Like, why can't you just admit you're wrong? Why can't you just admit you're wrong? Why can't you just admit you're wrong? He's like, it wasn't like that. I'm like, you see what you're doing right now? Just admit it. And so the fact that when he gets it, he's like, I know what you would say my flaws. You would say I'm not good at admitting I'm wrong, but that's not true. I'm like, you're doing it again. Freaking doing it again.
So I just know you so well that I know what you think and that I'm going to say what you're going to think I'm going to say.
Okay. So I'm just saying it takes a lot of character to be wrong as many times as I am and to just stand on my own 2 feet and admit it. This guy is right all the time. He's just not used to it. He doesn't know what to do with himself. When he makes a mistake, he's like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I don't know what to do with myself. I was self-destruct. Reboot.
Does Robert have the assume I'm right engineer mug? Actually, engineers don't assume. We just know. It
I was about to say,
I know
don't
I'm
take
right.
the assume out. There's not even like an assumption.
Don't
you know?
My dad has it. All right, so
Don't you know?
I think we said this on the channel. My entire family is, on my dad's side, we're all engineers. So like my grandpa was a chemical engineer. My dad's a mechanical engineer. I'm a mechanical engineer by degree, not anymore. My younger brother's an aerospace engineer.
And then all the other women are nurses.
Yeah, like
Just
my
wanna
sister is
state
a
for the record.
pharmacist. My mom is a cardiac rehab nurse. My
Like-
2 cousins are nurses. My aunt worked in a hospital for a long time. So yeah, we're a bunch of like math and science nerds in my family. What is Philip? If you're still watching, what does the sign above Dad's desk say? It says something about engineering and how we always know everything.
Yeah.
There is a saying in the Shinesky household though that my
It doesn't
grandpa
make any
started.
sense,
It's
by the
wonderful. It says,
Okay.
"I may not always be right, but I'm never wrong." From Norm Shinesky. There we go.
I'm like, I teach logic, and that's not a correct sentence. But it's okay.
If you were Shinesky, you would understand it. Your logic. We supersede
I am a
your logic.
Shinesky. I
You're
married
wannabe.
you.
Wannabe.
We talked about that.
There's a difference between
An
having
original.
leading it and then being the wannabe. That's
I
just
wanted
kinda
to
like-
have a Shinesky like decathlon against the original 3 Shineskys, him, his brother, and his sister, and then all the 3 that they married. But then it's like, I can't think of enough events that I know that we have strong suits that they don't, because they're all freaking good at everything. I'm like, we need to come up with something like acting. I can act. Can anyone act? Like they can't act. I can act. We need to be doing performing arts. But then his sister like did dance. So come on, man. I still can't think. I need enough events.
I think if we did a powerlifting thing, I think Kyle could beat Philip and I, because Kyle's trained in those power lifts.
You gonna make me and Heather go against your sister? We'd lose. We would both lose. You and Phil would win. We're not doing a powerlifting competition between the decathlon, between the Shineskys.
Oh yeah, we use the team numbers.
I call us the chosen ones, and he's like, y'all are wannabe Shineskys. I'm like, we're chosen ones because you chose us. So it's actually better. You were
We
just
were
there.
saving. I was saving you. That's what it was.
You were just there. I was chosen. So there's a difference.
Could be parallel. That's not right, but it's not wrong. See?
Cheese and freaking beans.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave. There we go.
It's just what?
It's the way it works.
I know.
All right, guys. This is going to be the last call for questions because you were going to need to go get the halfling.
Yes.
In a wee bit,
Yes.
and it's going to be time for me to make dinner preparations and mix up my afternoon delight.
I don't know what I'm going to eat for dinner yet. I haven't figured it out yet. I need 30 grams of protein, basically where I'm at, which
Gives
is
you free reign
decent.
to eat anything.
Yeah, I can pretty much eat anything. And calories wise, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
what do I want? Well, this time I'm not going to look at my stomach tomorrow if I eat nachos. I know that much. I can tell you that much right now because it's all like, what is that?
Which Ghostbuster are you? We just watched best
Oh,
New Year's movie
duh.
ever is Ghostbusters 2.
We should definitely know which one am I. Are you kidding me? Who's the one that would think of the easiest, the nicest character who wouldn't be able to keep their brain blank?
Ray.
What did you do, Ray? This is Ray. I just popped into my head. I thought of the most nicest thing. I would be Ray. Duh. And you would not be Venkman. Don't
No,
pretend
I
like you
don't
would
think
be
I
Venkman.
definitely would.
You would be the other one. Was it Egon?
Egon?
You'd
I'd
be Egon.
Yeah.
He'd be Egon.
The nerdy one.
We're
that
buddies.
doesn't have a personality.
We're buddies. I'd be Ray and you'd be Egon.
Why? It's always Ray's fault.
I
In both
know.
movies, it's Ray's fault.
Wait, what did he do? What did he do? The second one. When
He's the one that's staring at the painting and then Vigo
Oh, yeah.
jumps into him. And plus, he's also the one that gets stuck down in the well, too.
Well,
when
he
he's trying
got
to
stuck
get
down
on
in the well
slide.
because he had to skip. It was a good thing he scooped it up.
Maybe.
I love Ghostbusters. We just thought about how perfect
The first
Ghostbusters
two.
1 and Ghostbusters
First
2
two.
are.
We're not counting the 20.
Is there a third
whatever.
one? That doesn't count.
Exactly.
Those aren't the original. No, like Ghostbusters 1 and Ghostbusters 2 are just phenomenally good, timeless movies. They're so good.
They are.
I love those movies. They're so funny.
And you know what? They were both in the 80s.
I'll let you win. 80s have the best movies. 90s have really good movies. 80s have the best movies. 80s movies could never be redone and successfully. Ever.
Nope.
It is done in the 80s, and the 80s it shall stay. It's like this, it's like time is like around the 80s and nothing can touch it. It just is what it is.
There you go.
I agree with that.
Cool.
All right, buddy. We were born in 85. What?
There you go. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us here. Happy New Year again. If you like what we're doing, make sure to hit the like, comment, subscribe buttons. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes if you listen to us on any of the podcast perusing platforms out there. And we will catch you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
And I'll be lighter.